Guys, the Chickens here, bringing you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about, we're going to be going over a guide on how to select your statues. So this is something that, you know, all the maxed out players already know, but it's good to touch on every now and then, especially because there are some pretty significant changes to the game in 2019 that should actually affect the statues that you're using. So, let's go ahead and just dive into this, guys. So we're just going to take a peek at other people's bases here. You see the chicken, I've got mostly offense, and I'm going to talk about that why in just a minute. So the first thing that's going to come into effect when you're selecting your statues, guys, is your level. So your level as a player. You see this guy's a level 56. So if you're a low level, the only difference that this means is you need to get resources fast to be able to progress faster, right? To be able to get to the end game, you want to be able to help your chances of doing that with your statues. So your level, if you're a low level, if you're a medium level, or if you're a high level, this is basically how we're going to break it down. So if you're a low level, what you want to be able to do is raid often and get a lot out of your raids. Base protection doesn't really work in Boom Beach, especially for low levels. You can throw out, you know, 5 ice statues. All that really is going to do is slow down your ability to get more resources by taking down more bases. It's going to make it harder to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to take down less bases depending on your skill. But if you're a low level, there's basically no use for ice statues because all it's going to do, it's going to make your raids harder. You're going to get raided anyways. It's not really going to stop anybody, especially because you don't even have prototypes yet. There's just no real reason to run ice statues for a low level. So I know it's like everyone thinks that they need to be worried about, you know, you should have a good base layout. But ice statues are going to be a waste of a resource reward or an offense statue. So what you should be going with is something like this guy has. This guy's a little heavy on his resource reward. But basically you want to focus on offense when you're low level because it's going to make it easier to attack. It's going to make, and you can definitely throw out, I would say 1 resource reward masterpiece is pretty well all you need. I mean, you boost that up, you clear your map, and you have 9 offensive statues to help you do that. That's going to net you more resources than anything, than having stupid guardians that are just taking up good space for your offense. So that's for low level. For medium level, there's not really as much a need to put out resource reward statues as a medium level because we also have the monthly mega crabs now, right? So with bringing in of the monthly crabs, that's just a huge influx of resources that you don't necessarily need to have resource reward statues anymore. They actually bring in that much. Because if you can get through stages 1 through 30 on every single mega crab as a medium level should be able to, there's no need for you to run a resource reward statue because you're going to be maxed out on those resources. You're going to be able to loot people that have a ton of resources over the next week or so. Just from all like the game economy influx of resources that the mega crab brings. So at a medium level, you want to focus more on offense. You'll see a lot of people do run these green statues. Obviously, green statues are for 90% of the people that have been playing this game for a decent amount of time. We know that they're useless. So look at it this way, guys. I have a resource production statue. I boost that up for 1 full day, for 24 hours. That nets me maybe an extra 100k gold, wood, stone, or iron, right? If I raid 1 base, this guy has 260k gold, 90,000 wood, 90,000 stone, 64,000 iron. I'm better off spending 3 minutes attacking 1 base than I am for boosting up this green masterpiece for 24 hours. And you're likely just going to get raided and lose all of that anyways because you're not, you know, you can't sit on the game for 24 hours. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to use green statues is what I'm getting at. The only time that green statues ever really come into play is if you're a heavy ice base, is if you don't play the game more or less and you're at low VP level, you're a max level player, and for whatever reason, you just want to protect your resources. So you can't, that is a thing, it's called turtling. Where you put out a bunch of ice and a bunch of green statues, but it basically means that you're not playing the game anymore. So you got to take, and that kind of falls into our next point. You got to take what kind of the type of player that you are. That has to come into effect. So different types of players are going to need different types of statues, right? So let's find another base here that we can look at. So different types of players, if you're highly active and you're just attacking a lot, you're going to benefit from mostly, if not all, offense. If you're logging on to the game consistently, the thing with Boom Beach is you're going to get raided. You're going to get raided regardless of what you do. Your base is going to get crushed. It's just offense is better than defense until you get up to like 16 to 2000 VP, 1600 to 2000 VP. So if you're not at that point, and if you're at that point, you probably know more than the chicken does about the game anyway, so you wouldn't be listening. But if you're highly active, you're going to benefit from more offense. Maybe a resource reward statue if you're a little bit lower level. But you see this guy down here at 538 VP with all these ice statues, unboosted. It does nothing for him. Because watch this. I'll take this guy's base down and just show you how easy it is. Like the ice doesn't really make a difference is all that I'm getting at. It's just a waste of a good statue slot. Especially when you're not even max level yet. So if you're a different type of player, and they do exist, if you're a more inactive player, you log on, you do the events, and you take down a couple player bases, maybe boost up a resource reward statue, get an upgrade going, and then sign off. And you're not worried about operations, you're not worried about Mega Crab, you just want to get an upgrade going each and every day, and then just kind of call it a day from there. So, for those types of players, oh, we got a Simo, I think, yep. For those types of players, offense is still probably going to be one of the best bets overall. So you see right here, I mean, like this guy's got a ton of ice statues, right? And we just two-shot his base like fairly easily. So all of his ice statues didn't really help him at all there. Yeah, if you're more inactive and more focused on events, you could have a couple more resource reward statues because it doesn't matter if you don't have tons and tons of firepower if you're at low VP and you're just worried about getting an upgrade done as quickly as you can before moving on to the next upgrade. Then you could probably space out a little bit more resource reward statues. And the thing that's important about resource reward statues is you should try to have a masterpiece in your statue storage at all times. And that makes you what we call update proof. So an update comes out, tons of new things to upgrade and stuff. Hasn't happened in a while, but it is possible. You want to be able to put out a resource reward statue and be able to boost it up if you so choose, right? So that's what people call being update proof, is you can slap down a resource reward masterpiece, get all the upgrades done, and then by the time the next update comes, hopefully be able to get another one and then scrap the one that you put out just now for offense. So, and then we have just, most of the people playing now are more team focused, and, they stick around for their operations. They like to do their operation attacks, and for those guys, of course, you're going to 100% be all offense. That's not even going to be a question. You're going to be heavy on the gunboat energy. You're going to be heavy on the troop damage because that's what you use with Zookas in high-level operations. And yeah, so there's a couple different variants you can use. You can go 6-4, 6 gunboat energy, 4 troop damage is a popular one. 5-5 is a good one, split between gunboat energy and troop damage. There's something in there, 7-3, 6-4, you'll see sometimes in opposite, more damage to gunboat. It's good to have kind of a variety of statue layouts like that if you're going to have a really strong task force. So one of the newest things that came to the game somewhat recently anyways was the monthly mega crab. So the monthly mega crab, if you're a hardcore crab player just like the chicken, this is what my statue lineup is tailored for. It's 100% for the mega crab. I'm not concerned about operations. I'm not concerned about upgrades. I'm not concerned about base defense, clearly, as you can see by my base layout. I'm going to get raided regardless because I don't have any ice statues, and it's going to be very, very easy. But what I do want to get, what I do want to make my I want to get every single diamond trophy, and I want that to be as easy as possible. So I tailor my statues towards that goal. And I have 4 troop health, 4 troop damage, and 2 gunboat energy statues. And this is best for armored units, which is primarily what you use in the Mega Crab, at least from stages 1 to 30, 35, 40 sometimes, depending on whatever the boosts are. And it just makes the Scorchers and the tanks a lot stronger, and I'm able to push a little bit farther on the Mega Crab using these statues. So for me, the Mega Crab is very important. So I tailor my statues towards that. So you guys have to figure out what your goal is. Are you concerned about upgrades? Are you concerned about task force operations? Are you concerned about daily events? Are you concerned about, you know, we could get into VP pushing when you do. Typically, people put a bunch of ice statues out when they get to 1,000 VP. They'll put out 7 ice statues and keep 3 offensive masterpiece statues, a gunboat, a troop damage, and a troop health. And then they'll boost up the ice, and then they'll slowly just climb in VP. And, you know, when they have that much ice, your base is hard to take down, especially with the addition of prototypes once you become max level. So that's the only real time that you use ice, is when you're doing a serious VP push. If you just have a couple out and you're not boosting them, it's just a waste of statue space. So make sure you're not doing that, guys. And yeah, that's all I had to say on that today, guys. Make sure to let me know down below in the comment section what statues you use, because I'm interested to see if I have a feeling most people are all offense, but let me know if you have different combinations, and if you find that it works for you, or if you find that it doesn't. Either way, make sure to let me know that down below in the comments, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Checking out.